Welcome to the Cable Television Advisory Comcast Franchise Renewal Subcommittee meeting. This is May 18th at 8 a.m. Zoom teleconference. As chairman of the Cable Television Advisory Board, I find that due to the state of emergency declared by the governor as a result of COVID-19 pandemic and in accordance with the governor's emergency order number 12 pursuant to executive order 2020-04, this public body is authorized to meet electronically. Please note there is no physical location to observe and listen contemporaneously to this meeting, which was authorized pursuant to the governor's emergency order. However, in accordance with the emergency order, I'm confirming that we are providing public access to the meeting by telephone with additional access possibilities by video or other electronic means. To access Zoom, please refer to the agenda or the city's website for the meeting link. To join by phone, the number is 1-929-205-6099. The meeting ID is 849-5727-8864. The passcode is 022855. The public may also view this meeting on Comcast channel 16. We previously gave notice to the public of the necessary information for accessing the meeting through public postings. Instructions have been provided on the City of Nashua's website at nashuanh.gov and publicly noticed at Nashua City Hall and Nashua Public Library. If anybody has problem accessing the meeting via phone or channel 16, please call 603-821-2049 and they will help you connect. In the event the public is unable to access the meeting via the methods mentioned above, the meeting will be adjourned and rescheduled. Please note that all votes that are taken during this meeting shall be by roll call vote. Let's start the meeting by taking a roll call attendance. When each member states their presence, the reason that they're not able to attend the meeting in person, please also state whether there is anyone in the room with you at this during this meeting as it's required by the right to know law. Also, if you could announce your name before you begin speaking, it will help the transcriptionist with transcribing the minutes. All right, the roll call. Computer's freezing. All right, I'll just read the names off the Zoom. Ms. Kleiner.
Good morning, Kim Kleiner. I am in my office and I am alone and I am social distancing.
Andrew Sunoda, I'm here. I'm in my office alone and I'm social distancing. Ms. Lindner.
Cheryl Lindner, I'm here in my office. I am alone. I can hear everything and I am social distancing.
Mr. Misrovich. You're muted.
Oh.
I guess we'll come back to you. All right. Attorney Bolton.
Present. I'm by myself. I can see and hear everything going on.
All right. Mr. Painter.
Jeff Painter. I am in my home office alone and I am social distancing. Oh. Hold on. Sorry. My record deck had the mic on. Sorry about that. I am home alone and social distancing.
Mr. Johnson.
Pete Johnson here. I am home. I am alone. I can hear the proceedings and I am social distancing as the governor suggests.
Alderman Jetty.
I'm here alone and I can hear the proceedings.
Excellent. And Mr. Misrovich, do we have your audio working now? I can see your lips moving, but I can't hear you.
High-tech people have the most trouble.
All right. For the record, Mr. Mizrich is here, and please shake your head if you can confirm that you are alone.
He says he's going to call in.
Okay. We look forward to hearing from him shortly. In the meantime, Ms. Kleiner, would you like to start us off?
Happy to, Kim Kleiner. Good morning, everyone. So I did send out a notification that the survey was posted to the city website on last Friday. The graphic designer that works for the city, who's very talented, also established and created a social media promotion, as well as a promo to run on the PEG channels. And so Jeff can, Mr. Ponak can confirm that that has been posted to the PEG channels and included in the rotation.
And Pete, that we're on with that, correct?
We're on with one that I created. I have not heard anything from Rich on anything that he may have created. So whatever he's done is not on. So
Okay.
But ours is on.
yeah, it's on all. It's running on all three channels during the bulletin board right now.
Kim Kleiner, so thank you. It was attached to the notification that I sent out. So if you don't have it, I'll certainly have Rich send you over a clean copy. And more information is not a bad thing. We could certainly have both the promos that you created and the promos that Mr. Barabee created running at the same time.
Correct.
So we'll get that going. We have created a Comcast renewal page, and we've put some information up. We're working on information about the committee. I have spoken to Mr. Christensen from Comcast. He's collecting the information that we need, but expects it to be a couple weeks out. We did receive, the mayor received notification from Comcast about a channel that will be canceled from the Comcast lineup. And that's for those that may know it, I don't. Newsy informed Comcast, which is a news channel of highlights of news stories each day. So that channel is being canceled, but will still be available by app. And that's all the update that I have.
Alderman Jettie, I saw that you had a question.
Yes. So is this information or this notice that you had made, is that available on, can I share that on Facebook? Does the city have a Facebook page that I could, that's on, that I could then share onto my Facebook page?
Good morning, Kim Kleiner. The city's Facebook page is run out of the mayor's office. So Ms. Lindner would be better to speak to that.
Yes, we can post it if it hasn't already been posted. We did send out a press release last week that made it into the newspapers, I believe, for the weekend editions. And we also are hosting an event with the mayor tonight, and then tomorrow morning a coffee with the mayor where we will speak to the Comcast renewal and point people to the survey. So we can have that done today if it hasn't already been done.
And you can also just drop that Comcast franchise social media.jpg file that was in the meeting notice right into a post. And that would allow you to share it directly rather than sharing someone else's creating a new post yourself.
Okay, can you just say that again? What?
All right, so the file that Ms. Kleiner sent out is entitled Comcast franchise social media.jpg. And you, from say your desktop, you can actually just drag that and drop it into the window of when you create a new post. So
Yes.
create a blank post, drop that, and it will upload, and that will be the image in the post.
Okay, thank you. If I could,
Certainly.
Alderman Jettie here. So I did notice, people have, a few people have already alerted me to their impression of what's going on, and they, despite our best efforts to make it clear that it's not the case, they're talking about the price of Comcast, they're talking about internet access and providing competitive internet providers. So they're missing or under the impression that we can do a lot more than we can, that it's not limited to just the cable TV and that we have no control over the price, other than that up to 5% that the city can charge. So we got a lot of work to do to try to educate people on those issues.
Yes, that seems to be a perennial issue when we come to these renewals. Tomorrow, we will be on the Coffee with the Mayor meeting. So for anyone that's going to be watching that, we'll have discussion of that as well. Now, is tonight's thing that's on the calendar, is that something that's public as well?
Cheryl Lindner, tonight's will not be shown live on Channel 16, but will be shown afterwards.
Okay.
And Mr. Painter can correct me if I'm incorrect with that when we spoke yesterday. Tomorrow's will be live. But yes, the Zoom links are out there. You can sign up for both events on the mayor's page as well. So, yes.
Mr. Painter.
Jeff Painter here. Yeah, I confirm that. It'll be recorded tonight for replay, and then tomorrow will be live.
Okay. Yeah. Certainly, if people have other ideas for how to spread the word as far as exactly what the process is related to, we'll certainly make every effort to spread the word so that people have clear expectations as far as what we can and can't do in this process.
So this is Pete Johnson. I know on a couple of the posts on the Nashua Civic Sounding Board, I've gotten into the comments and tried to reiterate that, we only can deal with certain things, and pricing and, channels, internet are not part of that. There seem to be several other mentions that are talking about internet only or different things that we have no control over. And should we all, when we see it, try to post in the comments what and why the survey is being taken for, what reason?
I'd say every person that you can explain the situation to is one less person that's going to be disappointed when their particular issue isn't addressed
It's
the
funny, they
process.
all say people should take the survey, when if they had taken it themselves, they would realize and read the information prior to the survey, what was actually going on. So people say, oh, there's a survey, go out and take it, but obviously they haven't yet. So
Ms. Kleiner.
Kim Kleiner. So while I've had a few people contact me directly, and it is difficult, but if you take the time, I think they understand. I've had some people that have mentioned, well, the Cable Television Advisory Board. So by the very nature of the title of CTAB, it throws them off and tends to make them think that we have some advisory over all aspects of cable television. And when we sit and explain that, I think they understand. Alderman Dowd mentioned last evening at the budget meeting, the work that has been done to the chamber in order to prepare it for both Zoom meetings and in-person meetings, and how impressive that was. And I think if we can focus somewhat on some of the positives that the city has received as a result of these funds and what these funds are used for, that may be helpful.
Certainly goes to justify having the expense there for folks, although it's certainly the smallest part of their bill. All right.
So, Mr. Chairman, Alderman Zeddy here. So on that, this is really not part of our discussion this morning, and forgive me for taking up any time, but the 4% that we charge, you know, that money goes into a dedicated fund, does it not? It's not.
Well, part of it does, part of it doesn't. So to give a little historical background, back prior to the
2016.
Well, no, the previous renewal, the city's charged a franchise fee of 3%, and all of that went to the general fund. Out of that, the city allotted a budget for basically operating channel 16. At the time, we had no particular permanent staff. It was just run with ad hoc videographers. After that renewal took place, that was when the big discussion about whether we would be adding education and public access. At that point, the fee was raised from 3% to 4%. The original 3% still went to the general fund, and that 1% went to a dedicated fund for the operation of the education and government channels. There was no specific provision provided in that one for the public access. So the public access was still funded by the city on a separate budget that was regular city funds, which obviously, once it's in the general fund, it's sort of fungible. So it probably was part of that 3%, but with the most recent renewal, that public funding was that little additional fractional percentage that was increased over the 4%. And that, again, now that went to a dedicated fund, or at least that's my understanding, that also is in the dedicated fund.
So if I may, currently, this is Pete Johnson again, in the dedicated fund goes 1.3% and 2.7% is going to the general fund. So that's how it has been since 2015. And the public access budget line item has gone into the PEG television fund. So that 0.3% basically is paying for the public access channel.
Thank you for that clarification.
No problem.
All right. There was, before the meeting, the issue was raised about while we're in the sort of holding pattern, waiting for some responses from Comcast, and we're in the process of setting up public events to educate the public as far as what we're doing in this process, and sort of providing, greater public engagement. The question was whether we needed to continue to have these meetings on a weekly basis. I'd be interested in hearing people's thoughts on that.
Pete Johnson, I would think that, they may be needed to be called as needed. There may be times when things are a little slower and a weekly meeting isn't or is too much. And I don't ever foresee a time where meeting more than once a week would be there. But I think as needed may be the best bet. We can sort of determine at the end of a meeting whether anything will happen before the next week is out, if that makes sense.
It does. Any other discussion? Alderman Jettie.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Yeah, I agree. I don't think anybody wants to meet unnecessarily, just for the sake of meeting. So, as you, Mr. Chairman, determine a need, I think that seems like the better way of operating. So we should meet at the call of the chairman.
Mr. Painter.
Jeff Painter. Yeah, maybe we just go tentatively for 2 weeks from now, based on the idea that Comcast within 2 weeks is going to have some information for us.
Right. Okay. I don't know if that requires a motion, but if someone wanted to make one, we could certainly do that. Ms. Linder?
Cheryl Linder, I'd like to make a motion that the committee meet or tentatively scheduled to meet in 2 weeks from today, based on the gathering of information from Comcast.
Yep.
Okay.
Availability of that.
Mr. Painter?
Jeff Painter, I second that, and it would be June 1st that we'll be looking at to meet.
All right. We'll proceed. If there's no further discussion, we'll proceed to a vote.
Can we
Ms.
make
Klein?
an amendment, Mr. Chairman, and just add that, and we'll meet after that as needed? Does that make sense?
I think it does. Can we have that as a friendly amendment?
Would you like me to amend my motion, or do I need to withdraw it and make a new motion? I'm happy to do whatever.
I think to be honest, I don't know off the top of my head.
I think it can be added as a friendly amendment.
Yeah, I think we'll just add it. All right. Let's go to a vote. Ms. Kleiner?
Yes.
Andrew Sonoda votes yes. Ms. Lindner?
Yes.
Attorney Bolton?
Yes.
Mr. Painter?
Yes.
Mr. Johnson?
Yes.
Alderman Jettie,
Yes.
Mr. Miserovich.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
Yes.
All right, motion passes. All right, any other discussion? Ms. Linder.
I just wanted to let you all know that we've posted onto the city's website the link to the survey. So it's up there now if anybody would like to share it.
Excellent, thank you.
You're welcome.
Mr. Painter.
This is Jeff Painter. This is a little off subject, but tonight we will be, for the first time since March of last year, broadcasting from City Hall tonight's meeting. Now it'll be Zoom. I mean, it's not going to be with the chamber, but that's our first move towards normalcy again. So that'll start tonight.
Very nice. Anything else? All right, is there a final motion?
I make a motion to adjourn.
A motion to adjourn from Ms. Lindner. No second or discussion required. Ms. Kleiner?
Yes.
Andrews notice votes yes. Ms. Lindner?
Yes.
Attorney Bolton?
Yes.
Mr. Painter?
Yes.
Mr. Johnson?
Yes.
Alderman Jettie?
Yes.
Mr. Miserovich?
Yes.
All right, that's everyone. See everyone on the 1st if we don't have any intervening reason to call a meeting. So, and then hopefully we'll have plenty. You'll have plenty of time to see us on the mayor's meeting and the coffee with the mayor. So,
Right. Thank you.
Thank you.
thanks.